はいどうも、テルと申します。You are playing the Stanley Parable かな。前回やったんですけど、その続きやっていきたいと思います。前回がなんだっけ、ちゃんとナレーション通りにいったエンディングとナレーションを全部無視したエンディングをやったので、他にもエンディングないかちょっと探していきたいと思います。ロードゲームでいいのかな。最後にやった日付が一瞬だけ出たね。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
画面が暗いよ。さあ、やっていきましょう。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
一
missed a
回ね、
memo.
この日本語訳にするためにね、ページを探したときにね、2個だけチラッと見たんだけどね。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
その1個を
perfectly
ちょっ
well.
と試してみようかな。
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
前回行ったとこの
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get
なん
back
か
to
クレ
business,
ーンみたいなのか
Stanley
な。
took the first open door on his left.
ここじゃないな。ここの
Stanley was so bad at following
自
directions,
殺エンド
it's
っていうのがあ
incredible
る
he
らしいん
wasn't
ですよ。
fired years
ここ押
ago.
したらいいのかな。わあ。
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his
これが自
death.
殺エンドらしいで
Good
す。
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
すげえしょうもねえ。これまたスタートかな。そうだね。特に何にも触れないしな。もう一個が
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
お
When
お、なんか
Stanley
微妙に
came
速
to
度
a
俺
set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
左
left. Yet there was not a
なんか
single
偉い
person
人の部
here
屋
either.
の
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
ドア
decided to
から
go
うま
up
く
to
出
his
ると
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
下も気になるとこだけどな。とりあえず上行ってみよう。偉い人の部屋に入るときにうまく抜け出せるらしいんですけど、か。
Stepping into his
間に合わん
manager's
かっ
office,
た
Stanley was once again stunned to
ちょっ
discover
とこれ
not
は
an
要
indication of
相談
any
ですね、ま
human
だ。
life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been
とりあえず
keeping
ここから
from
なんか
him.
できそうなやつを
And
やろ
so
う。
the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened
よ
passageway.
ーし、次は早くしろや。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he
う
felt
ち
a
の
bit
会社もこんなん
peculiar.
だったらいいん
It
だけ
was
ど
a
ね。
stirring of emotion in his
いやでも
chest,
それって
as though
操られ
he
てるって
felt
こ
more
とか。
free to think for himself,
嫌だな。
to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
いや
This
いや
question would not go unanswered for long.
迷わず行くぞ。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
びっくりした。一瞬止まったかと思ったよ。はい。ほらほら。
The lights rose on an enormous
That's right.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
これ
revealed.
すごい綺
Each
麗
bore
に
the
できてる
number
ゲー
of
ムだ
an
よ
employee
ね。
in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals
気持ち悪くなってくる、
reduced
こんな
to
見てたら。
images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
ほらほら。よし。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be
koi.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
さあ乗せたまえ。
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was
相当やべえ。
unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly
台風の日に
spent
俺
his
は
entire
ゲー
life
ムをやる。
utterly blind to the world? But
これ
here
でも
was
ね
the
ちゃんと
proof,
ね
the
仕
heart
事
of
し
the
てるんだよ。
operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
今日は
Happy
たまたま
or
早く帰れただ
sad
けだから。
or content. Walking, eating, working,
Hi,
all
hi.
of it monitored
Hi,
and commanded
hi.
from this very place.
Hi, hi,
And as the
hi.
cold reality of his past began to sink in,
俺はパワーを
Stanley
オン
decided
に
that
する。
this machinery would... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
惜しかったもんだ。
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and
さあどう
leave.
するんだ。
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency
マジか。
detonation system. In the
核爆弾
event
が
that
飛
this
ぶ。
machine
作
is
もすべて破壊。
activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
すごいね。最初日本語訳じゃない時にやったからさ、何言ってるか全く分かんないんだよね。
This is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them
おお、
is.
どうしたらいいのか教えろ
More
よ。
time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events
あ、
has
やばい、
been
なんか
quite
やっちゃ
amusing.
ったやっちゃった。
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
おお、
You know
それどころじゃねえだ
what?
ろ
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
何でもいいから早く
Oh dear me, what's the matter,
早
Stanley?
く助けろよ。
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you
Oh,
saw that
そうだそうだ、
timer
早く。
that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
うわ、最低だ。
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds
マジか。
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is
あと40秒しかねえぞ。早く。
tragedy.
なんか教えろよ。
This world, that's fine.
これ
But
かな。
I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here.
なんか大きいボタン押したけど。
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
あれこれ。
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say,
ああ。よし、じゃあ次。もう今攻略ページ見ながらやってます。窓の外エンド。434のデスクの上に乗れないよ。椅子経由で乗り。こうか。こうか。で、しゃがみながら窓に移動。おお。
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all
あら
along.
まあ。
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag?
Ah, then in that case we'll continue.
なんだ
But
こ
now,
れ。
here comes the real
白
question.
い。
What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
ここが限界なんだ。
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first
お
place.
ー、やんなかなこ
Oh,
れ。
now think about it.
違う。
Will it be worth it for you to
どうだろう。
restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in
長え、
total
こいつ
just
の
to
会
have
話。
heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one?
Better
Imagine
one.
if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then
何
perhaps
の絵
you're
も
not.
ね
In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this
ー。
is lucky.
え
Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
えええ、ひどくね。放置ちょま。なんかある。あ、窓から落ちてきたってことね。ちょうど一つラッキーなエンディングが見れそうなので、ちょっと頑張ってみます。
All of his co-workers were gone.
この青みのかかった部屋が出ると、この426の部屋
Stanley
が
decided
開くら
to
しい
go
で
to the
す。
meeting room. Perhaps
これ
he had
ホワイトボード
simply
エン
missed
ディ
a
ング
memo.
らしいです。くだらねえくだらねえよ。あ、こっち入ったよかった。よし、これでホワイトボードエンディングが 終了だね。こんだけだね。ちょっと記念だから取っとこう。はい。よし、行くか。あと1個だけやろう。アートエンディングっていうのやってみようかな。右のドアに入って進み、リフトだね。さっき自殺したとこのリフトのとこまで行く。
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
リフトに乗ったら途中にある通路に向かって飛ぶ。途中に
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story is... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
青いドアに3回進むと書いてあるけど。
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Hello?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
嫌なこったい。
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map.
開発用のテクスチャーとかやっちゃダメでしょ。うわ、手抜きや。
Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design.
いやーでもこのゲームすごいね。あっち、うわーびっくりしたー。なんだこれ。
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
なんだ？おお。
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
Please rate
Feel
your
free to be honest.
experience.
I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
なんか5。
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
お？わ、でもよく見るとここもテクスチャーになってる。
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
まだあるの？
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
これ4時間続けるの？それに突っ込ませるとこの冷血野郎とか言われた。
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
わあ、
It's
電気切られたよ。
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
何うわあ
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always
めっ
desired.
ちゃマインクラフトや。
Game I had absolutely nothing
で
to
もジャンプができない。
Is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever
これダメじゃない？いい
Well,
の？
I'll
大
say
丈夫？
this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic
著作権
purpose.
的に大丈夫？
Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off... Yes, it's complete. I made this.
ドアがある。
Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art
家これ
and
が
feel ashamed at your own
トイレやん。
inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside.
開けろ
You've only
よ
gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and
開い
make
た。
yourself comfortable.
入れねえし。おい。入れた。
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
これ大丈夫？
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
わあ、すげえ。すげえ。
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do
暗くて
at
何も
all.
見えねえ。
5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game. Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
監禁生活や。
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
こんなゲームだったっけ？
Jeez. Now No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of the...
おう。あー。え？なんかすごいホラーゲームをやってる感じがするけど、真っ暗でよくわからないよ。しかもここどこだ？あ、なんか明るい。あそこじゃないか？お、なんかやっとそれらしい。あ、自分の部屋に戻れた。やったー。何もないよ。
I wonder what he found.
自分の部屋
If
を見
what
つ
he
けたよ。
wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.